Hi, this video is to show using QCT5 Beginnings 5.05.59 version how to have a partial row up at the top. When you have Pro, this is not anything you have to do. So this is unique to Beginnings. So I'll tap on Pantograph. I haven't set my safe area, so I need to do that. I'm pushing my machine all the way back, going to the edge of the backing, touch top left. And I'm moving my machine all the way over and pulling it as far as I can and going to the edge of the backing and tapping on bottom right. And that has created my safe area, which auto feeds into the total width, but the total height is unique, okay? I'm going to tap on that yellow ruler and you see 16.81 up there, which is the safe area height. Okay, so here it's 15.96. The reason for that is QCT does a percentage based on the throat space of your machine. Mine is a 21, so this is 95% of that total height. I don't need to have a total height that will be higher than this. This is so when I get to the bottom of my quilt, I don't have to reduce my panto any. I should be fine. Okay, I still need to do a total width that must be less than this total width amount from the safe area. So I'm tapping on the yellow ruler. I'm going to move my needle over here. And this is with the green slanted one selection. I'm tapping on the left side. Moving it over here. And you're just moving it wherever you want the left and right stitches furthermost to hit. So tap there and say apply measurement. Okay, and for a total height, I'm going to make this be 10. Okay, so now we need to select our pattern, and I'm going to go into my creative stitches, and I'm going to use Destiny because it nests a whole lot, and that's what I want to show is the whole thing with when you have nesting, and that means the patterns curve up into each other. So I'm going to go down to this third row of hearts and I'm going to start tapping on the pattern plus until they're either almost touching or overlapping. So 2, 3, 4, and now they are just right at touching. So now I'm going to tap on that top row of hearts and it's gone to the second one, which is the one I want. You can see the pink. That allows the rows to wrap. So that's the selection I want. Okay, so now I need to save it. So I'm going to tap on that blue disc, and I will go into Patterns and Pantos. And Working Pantos is something I have saved for stuff I'm working on. And so we will say testing. Okay, and we'll say enter and save. Okay, so now for us to stitch that first row, we need to move this up because we don't want these gaps up at the top of our quilt. So I need to tap on move, and now on this fit, I need the top selection. You can see right now this up and down arrow, they're both gray, and I need that top one to be active and be blue. So when I tap so that it's on the top one, you can see they're all blue now. See if the second one is grayed out, the third choice is grayed out, but the top one, it's active. So now I can tap on this move until it's where I want it, okay? And you can be selective about exactly where you stop it. And of course, there's going to be a little bit for your binding. So as long as there's not going to be a gap, then you're fine with wherever you've moved it to. Okay? So now there's nothing else we need to do, so we're ready to sew in zones. And the first thing you would want to do is tap on Zone Manager and make sure that the percent width and height is good for your machine. This is rolling rail, so it's 100. The height is 95 for a 21. I have the center placement here and the sewing direction. It's just going to be one row, so any of these selections would actually work. I have it continuous, so I'm going to say okay, and then you would go into settings and make sure if you had the right stitches per inch. Say okay, and now I'm going to place it in the center because that was what I had selected. I'm moving my needle to where I want the topmost stitches to hit. I'm going to tap inside there, and then going to optimize because I need to get rid of the blue dots. I'm going to say remove all. No, I don't want them to connect, and you can see now it's going to give me straight line stitches, which that's what I want. So I tap OK. So I would stitch this out, and I would, at the end, I would pull my bobbin and then tap on finished, and then QCT is going to move to right there. It's going to move to the center of that green line because it still considers this entire thing to be a zone. Even though I moved the row up and there's no stitching here, this is still the full zone. So when I advance my quilt ready to do the next row, the placement spot I'll use will be somewhere up here, okay? And it would be even with where the highest stitch for that next row to stitch is gonna hit, okay? So if you're someone who measures from the point that QCT gives you up, this will not be the measurement you will go by because this will be a farther distance than all the others. Because the other rows, the lowest stitch would be hitting down on that green line, so you won't have quite as far to measure up. So just be aware of that. And then when you get this stitched out and you have that point marked, then tap on your X and then say select pattern and go back to where you saved it. And so we called it testing and open as a pantograph. And now you are ready to tap on sew in zones and continue on with your quilting. So I hope you have found this helpful.